Alright, so today is the 30th of December. It is 11:34 p.m. So I'm getting in right under the wire. And I'm anticipating I'll probably have a 6-year-old girl interrupt me here any time now. But I wanted to get this vlog in. So today I've been learning a lot about mailing lists and how to set them up. And I was using MailChimp and how to do campaigns and kind of create your own newsletter. And she's knocking on the door across the hallway. She's gonna catch me. Okay. And I've been doing that for my XposingMe website, for the podcast for that, and experimenting, seeing how it does, sending it out to the people that have subscribed already, and playing around with that to kind of see how the process works, so I can use that also in my podcast with my brother that I'm co-hosting with him for Life According to Brothers, latbpodcast.com, and then also for my business. When I have a podcast for that, I'll use a mailing list, and that one is Fed Services, PHED Services.com, or Personal Health Education Services. So I want to play around with these things and kind of know how it works so I can put it into place and implement it with those other websites and podcasts. So I've been doing a lot of that. And then I've also been doing a lot with getting sound bites from movie clips and things like that, like the 1983 classic Trading Places with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd. There are some clips I've gotten from that, from other snippets of movies, as well as songs, sound effects, things like that I can put onto this soundboard that I have on my iPad, and I can patch it in through my mixer and put it, play it live into the podcast as we're recording it. And then I'll also be able to record like an intro and make my own music. I have Garageband now, not the full version, but I have the version that we got with the mini iPads, so I can at least do some things with it and make multiple tracks, things like that, and then do voiceovers. So create like a standard intro and then play that at the beginning of each podcast episode. So I won't have to redo it over and over, and I can put that bit in there and have it said right, and then move on with the podcast. And I can have transition noises and things that I push myself when I'm ready for it. It'll make a little transition noise to let the listener know that I'm moving on to the next topic or next point. So I'll be able to do a lot of different things like that. And then there will be just sound effects, like maybe like applause or laughing, or could be, who knows, a chainsaw, or whatever I'm talking about. If there's an effect that goes along with it to help enhance it in some way, whether it's comedic or serious, or it's maybe the sound of rain. Like on an intro, I have a fade in to a rain sound and kind of talk on a rainy day or something like that. I could add that in and kind of give it a little bit more dramatic effect or a little bit more depth and things like that. So I've been doing a lot with that today, the last couple days, and working with things. I don't know if I told you yesterday I ran on a treadmill. I think I did tell you that. I ran 6 miles on a treadmill. It was very different, very disorienting when I got off of the treadmill. I had to stand on the treadmill after it had come to a complete stop, stand there for just a minute to kind of, because I don't know if I was like dizzy, I wasn't lightheaded, it wasn't vertigo and all that, but I just felt a little wobbly, like I needed to gain my bearings for a second. And it may have been two different factors. One is that I was running inside and it was warmer than usual because it was inside, and I'm used to running outside in the cold, and I'm not acclimated anymore to running in the warm air. And then also running on a treadmill, I've heard that it can be a little bit disorienting to the body when you're not used to it. And then also when you get off a treadmill, it can be a little disorienting, kind of like when you go skating, like roller skating, and then you take the skates off after you've been skating for an hour or however long, and you gotta get your land legs back. Same kind of thing right there. But that was an interesting experience, I suppose. I still want to get a treadmill for in the house, so I can run whenever, like, the baby is sleeping, and I'm not going to have time to run that morning or that night, and I want to be able to run. So I could either put him in his playpen, or if he's sleeping, I can lay him down in the room, and I can run on the treadmill, things like that. So there's a lot of stuff going on with podcasts, 3 different podcasts. I'm developing the one for Fed Services. The one for Life According to Brothers, we've already recorded the first episode and have some ideas for further episodes, and I'm getting the website and everything together for that. And then my XposingMe, I've picked it back up, started recording again for that, and getting sound effects and just things to enhance it and make it a little more interesting and interactive and things like that. Alright, so I'm going to let this podcast end here at about 6 minutes, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.